Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2017, and this is my Pro Cyclist mode, and I'm now in Season 2. And if you watched the last episode, you would have already seen the changeover, and that in Season 2, I've moved from the Continental Division to a new team, Wanty Group Gobert, and with the new team, I was supposed to be moving to the Pro Continental level, so the second division, the intermediate division. However, the team that I moved to ended up being promoted, and now I find myself at the World Tour level. However, I'm not yet racing World Tour races, but I'm on a team that's placed itself at the World Tour level. And with only a couple stage racers on the team, I'm going to find myself in that leadership position pretty much until I find myself racing World Tour races. So while I'm at this Pro Continental level of races, in the intermediate races for the team, I'll most often be in the leadership position. Now, the race that I'm in the middle of, this multiple stage race, I was actually doing quite well when I left you, but I did a couple stages off camera, and in one of those stages, an unfortunate thing took place, similar to what had actually taken place in the last couple stages on camera. There have been wreck after wreck after wreck in this race, and I got caught up in one of them in that last stage. So I got picked up in a wreck, a whole bunch of riders went down, and we ended up with a massive split between us once we got back on our bikes and the rest of the field. And none of my teammates were anywhere near me at that point. We were unable to catch the main group, and I ended up losing a bunch of time, leaving myself essentially out of contention here for the final stage of this race. So it's stage 6. It is the time trial. I do have a chance to pick up some time here and improve my placement, but I'm not going to be in contention for a top finish in my first race. My only real chance of points as an outsider here is potentially for the stage itself. And you can see from here, for the overall standings, I don't appear in any of them. I have dropped to 54th place overall. It sounds like we've got ourselves a bit of a breezy day. They still want me to finish in the top 30. And top 15 on the stage. I wasn't seen as one of the top 10 favorites, so top 15, even then, may be a stretch. Top 30 certainly might be a stretch after what happened in the previous stage, so my bosses, there's a good chance they're not going to be too happy after this one. I certainly should gain some time, but I'm going to be a ways back, so this is going to be a struggle. Now, let's for a moment look and see what am I facing today. 21 kilometer per hour winds, and it's mostly a headwind. The only stretch right here is the only place where it's going to be at the back. Here early on, we're going to be kind of directly into it. Here it's going to be on the side. And there's a little bit of a climb here towards the end. Okay, so the course is taking about 17 minutes right now as the field starts to sort itself out. And not massive time games. I mean, you can see here everybody's within about 2 minutes of each other. But that is decent time games. Time gains. Alright, so here's that early push that I wanted to get a good start on over this first hill. There we go. And then I want to have enough energy to be able to push strongly at the end. Here's another short uphill section. And it looks like it is short enough that I will be able to push pretty hard throughout. Here's the only downhill section that was also the only time that the wind is going to be at my back. Now we're going to be turning back into the wind.
That's a good time. It's looking good, but
and that's already 6th, and I have plenty of energy to push strong to the finish, and only 6 seconds off the pace. So yes, I think I should be able to manage the top 15 now. Here we are for the end, the push, the hill. And I'm going to be able to go a lot stronger than these other riders. Look how fast I'm gaining on these guys. But I might be going too strong, too fast. I want to have a little bit still at the end. Yeah, I burned it too fast. Shoot. There it goes. There goes my advantage. I didn't make it quite to the end on that. So, slow finish. Overdid it on the hill, but I'm sure I gained quite a bit of time there for a bit. I'm not going to have first place right now. 13 seconds better than Rosas, but there's still plenty of riders left to go who will be in contention. But as for a top 15, I think that should hold for a top 15. I should be inside probably the top 10, but I don't think that's going to win it just because I burned up my energy well before the finish. Alright, well, we've got quite a ways to go till that finish, thanks to that poor stage where I got caught up in that crash. So we'll go ahead and speed things along towards the end of this race. Ooh. Carpenter comes in 3 seconds off the pace. There you go. Ilnar Zakharin goes 21 seconds ahead of me. Like I said, I wasn't going to hold it. But at least hopefully we'll hang on to a top 10. Okay. De Ghent comes in. Pierre Roland. Castro Viejo, all World Tour top riders. Izagirre. Holland Scene's the first name that's popped up that I'm not familiar with, but I've slipped to 7th so far. And there you go, 7th on the stage. 7th on the stage, so not bad. I underestimated that hill and the amount of energy that would go into climbing that hill. But still, overall, solid finish here on this last stage. And no, I am not inside the top 10 after that split. Cost me a whole bunch of time, but I should have moved up quite a bit. So let's go ahead and move into where the finishing was. So again, 7th on the stage, but where am I? Did I crack the top 30? No, I did not. 44th, so I only moved up 10 places. No surprise there with the time gaps that are involved. I'm at 344 overall, and Castro Viejo was right near the front, so I lost maybe 20 seconds there. So I went from about 320 behind to about 344, and with about 2 minutes, you could imagine that, right, 54. There you go, 5:36. So I've put near 2 minutes on those who were around me. That places me 13th on the under 25s. And again, if you take a couple minutes or 3 minutes away from the split, I'm right up near the front. 2 to 3 minutes, right? So 2 to 3 minutes would be from 8th to 3rd in the split, somewhere in there. As a team, we got 5th on the day. Poor evaluation there, but very good on the evaluation there. So overall, I actually improved the manager's satisfaction from a starting point of 75 up to 83%. I picked up 22 points of progression. So that slowed me down a little bit on the day on my hope to improve rapidly and actually be able to compete for something. At a 72, I'm pretty low for World Tour level. But again, if I find myself doing the Continental races, not qualifying for World Tour races here for a little bit, I might find myself in that team leader role fairly frequently, even though I'm only a 72 rating. So this has definitely been a surprise to me. Part of me is happy that I'm at the World Tour level already in Season 2. But part of me is also trying to be realistic. And I don't feel like I'm going to be terribly competitive at that level. And being competitive is certainly a part of it. How am I going to get better, if I'm not earning points, if I'm not making the manager happy? So we have a 2-stager here. And looking at the team, Johan Alfredo is the top guy. Let's see the briefing. Stage 1, very hilly. That's the other thing, too, is I'm going to face tracks that are far, far more difficult now than what I would have faced. I don't know what Stage 2 is going to look like. Let's see what Stage 2 looks like. Oh, Stage 2 is going to be just as punchy as Stage 1 is. Let's see. Richie Porte was the winner last year over Quintana. So this is no joke. There are some definite World Tour contenders that are going to be at this race. Most likely anyway, if it is consistent with last year. And see just how low I am in the mix among my team. But Fredo, what's your Barrador? He's a team worker, yet he's the best rated guy. So we'll see. He is high on hills, so he is pretty punchy. They might give him the go over me. I'm only a 70 when it comes to hills. And he's at a pretty high fitness level right now. Okay, this is very much World Tour teams here at this race today. Not coming... Well, there's Henao. Sergio Henao is here. Yeah, there you go. He's the favorite. Romain Bardet, Villamose, and TJ Van Garderen. And then there's Pierre Roland again, who was in the last race. Philippe Gilbert. So there definitely are some big names. I'd say about 4 big contenders for the win. There's Soler also. Soler has had a great breakout season for Movistar in real life this year. As he's making himself well known. There's Buani.
The profile of the route is a fairly mixed bag, so everybody should find a section to their pleasing.
Buani's not going to do anything, though, as there's no sprints here. Yep, role of teammate. They want me to work at the head of the group. Gonna do what I always do, though, work my way to the front, hoping that a wreck does not send me far back, but that was a rare occurrence. I've been caught up in plenty of wrecks in this game, only to get up just behind the group or even at the back end of the group. Being at the front makes a big difference. If you're at the back and wreck, you're that much further, and the group can really leave you behind in a hurry. Last time was unfortunate. It was a bad wreck that really split things up. So it is what it is, and you got to deal with it and move on. It did cost me the race. I at least managed a top 10 on the stage, so there was something there. Boy, that group took off and slowed up immediately. They didn't let them go. Alright, this is up to the front, and there's no call for me to do anything right now, just stay in the peloton, so I'll wait until I'm asked to do something. I am playing the role of teammate here today. I very much need to make the manager happy if I am to eventually be given free reign. So, yeah, we just went over the first Category 4 climb. No issues so far. A group of 9 riders have pushed themselves 5 minutes ahead, and that distance seems to be holding now for the most part, so peloton has sped up a little bit. But at 70, I'm having no trouble holding my position here. And that's the first 2 climbs. And the first of 2 sprint points is coming up here soon, so we might see a little turn up in pace in the group up front. Nope, they're holding inside of 4 minutes, so I don't think we're going to have any problem catching up to those 9 when that lead's already shrinking away down to about 3 minutes as we approach the halfway point. So I haven't been asked to do any work at this point, so hitting that 25K mark at the front of the pack looks like it's not going to happen today. Race day condition for me is all zeros, so I am the natural rider, not feeling good, not feeling bad, I'm just ho-hum. Alright, pace has picked up finally, and I am starting to slip backwards, so I do need to address that. This is the third Category 4 climb that we just went over the top of, so I did slip back in the field a little bit, but I did not burn any energy. And now on the downhill section there, short downhill, falls flat, I was able to move right back up towards the front. Again, advantage to being at the front. If I was at the back of the pack at that 70, I probably would have slipped off the back because I wasn't pushing it enough. By the way, that group of 9, the breakaway, is down to just over 2 minutes. So peloton means business today. Alright, now in terms of energy, my stamina looks to be a little bit below most of those around me. So racing among World Tour teams, even if at Pro Continental level, looks like it is going to take it out of me a lot more than it did at the Continental level, where I seem to always be up near the top on stamina near the end of races. So I know my stamina attribute is not that high right now, and it shows as compared to my teammates. I am definitely below average on what remains out there. Now, in terms of strength, I've got plenty left and haven't hurt in any way. Alright, let's speed things back up here. Still no requests to go off and do work, so I guess that's at least... Ooh, Okay, Vens
A
has
leader is
fallen.
down.
There's a
The
split.
team plans could well be turned upside down.
Okay, this has got escape written all over it. So, Jerome. Let's see, Bagnis is team leader today, and we have a group of 20 here, and 5 of the 20 are my team. So he wants me to push and push hard, so I will. Let's get to the front of this thing, and oh, now it's down to 16 and still the 5. So I'm gonna push to the front and give it what I've got.
It's been announced that a rider is withdrawn.
Oh, now it's down
and
to it's up to 91. But there's a chance. He wants me to relax now. Kind of want to hit part of that mark anyway before I back off, so I can at least get credit partially for leading at the front today.
The breakaway has now got over a minute on the pack. Some
All
team
right, well, he said
managers
stay in the
must appreciate
peloton,
the fact
so
that
I'm
there
going to
was a
relax.
breakaway, given that the
AG2Rs
pack is
moving to the
great
front
at
now.
speed. The entente in the escape group is far from cordial. There are a couple of riders who want to go it alone.
Alright, I did use up quite a bit of energy just on that burst for a few Ks leading the front. It looks like the group behind is catching us. But we are heading into the penultimate climb of the day, though it looks like we finished on a bit of a climb as well. And the pace is high enough that I'm actually not recovering here at the moment. We'll see if I recover here shortly, otherwise I might not make it to the last climb. That effort off the front may take its toll on me. Alright, well, I made it there so far. Heart rate has slowed a bit, but not a lot, so I don't think it is going to recover, it would appear. Okay, Peloton's back together, and my pace of 86 did go red there for a second, so the pace is pretty hot. Breakaway group is down to about 30 seconds, but the Peloton's back to a group of 120, and a lot of energy has been burned by a lot of riders to get there. You can see that Vens here at the back of the group is about to get themselves dropped. Their last of their energy is burning right now, and the Peloton is starting to thin out, and it actually just split up down to 62 riders there for a moment, now 84. So there is going to be a pretty large group that does get left behind here. Okay, breather while I can. Alright, so we are focusing now towards the end of the race. Things are changing. Group is definitely thinning out. Looks like the... Oh, huge fall.
Can only hope that they all get back up.
has fallen.
There's a mass crash.
And I'm in a group of 4, way off the front right now. Boy, there's something to be gained here. Are you guys gonna relay with me?
A rider is down.
We lost the what was left of the breakaway group, and I'm not getting much. There we go, 79. I got 2 French riders. Vital Concepts, both of them. They really should be working here. Come on, guys. There we go. Yeah, we're probably going to get caught here, but it's worth a shot.
Withdrawal of a rider. He seemed to have neither the energy nor the courage to keep going.
Okay, there is the breakaway just ahead, but we're only seconds ahead of the main group, so it looks like we're about to get caught. Okay, they want me at the front. And so there you go. I just kind of fell right in.
A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack.
I am
They obviously
just
don't have
about
anybody in the
out
breakaway group.
of energy, though. This climb's going to be difficult for me. I think I'm going to lose energy and maybe slip off the back of the group before the top of the climb. It's only 1K to the top, though. But there we go. I'm fading. But I'm kind of hanging in there. Small, tight climb. I shouldn't drop back too much. Top's right here. It's just steep. I'll slide back. We've caught the breakaway group, so now it's just 79 riders, but I'm sliding backwards fast here.
15 kilometers to the finish line.
Yeah, there goes 21 riders off the front. And the split was pretty much right where I am. 20 riders off the front now. A couple guys are riding hard to close that, especially when looks like my team leader is among the backward split, so we're trying to close that down. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to kind of survive, hang in there, recover a little bit. Hanao's in that little breakaway, so they want me to get on him. I'm just barely recovering, though. Can I get up there to catch him? We got a group of 26 here. Looks like, there we go, gap's closed. We're back with that front group. Just going into the final climb, and meanwhile, I'm just hanging on. Working my way towards the front where I need to be if I'm going to survive. It's only 6K to the end, but I don't know if I'm going to be with this group at the end. There's 46 riders now. And I just have that little bit left. Just enough. So I'm struggling. Yeah, here we go. It's about to go again. So I'm not going to make it to the end with this group. Just this little punch here at the end is going to split me off. Looks like I'm going to be somewhere around 40th place on this thing. One rider pushing. Philippe Gilbert. He's going for it. 3K to go. Use my gel just to try to push to the end. Ooh, I'm among 26 now. They're pushing for the end, and I'm toast. On my own, riding towards the end.
The sprint is on. The riders are setting themselves up.
Okay, let's see who gets the win. Gilbert, Degan, Van Garderen, and now top four. That was the top four names, really, other than Bardet. Calmejean, Bardet, they're in 6th. There's Marc Soler in 7th. So all of the big names come in top 7. And my guys, 9th and 10th. I don't feel like I contributed terribly well today, though. And I am outside of the top 20. But not far outside of the top 20. That should be about a top 30 finish, I would imagine. Let's see. Top 29, so not too bad, considering I burnt up my energy at 2 key points late in the race. Really making it a struggle to finish with the main group. Had I been able to finish with the main group, I figured I could have gotten a top 20 or top 15.
And here are a few of the key moments.
All right, so how far back are we? Minute 45. I'm with the top 25 edge group. Okay, poor evaluation though, so I don't gain anything. Because I wasn't asked to work at the front except for small stretches. And then when I was asked at the very, very end, I didn't get that chance. And then when I was at the front of that small breakaway group, I didn't get credit for that. So the 4K where I did lead was all I got. So tough day for me on that part. But at least I did lead some. And here we go again. Punchy. This one finishes downhill, though, so there's a chance for a bunch group. Whoever's still alive, I'd say by the bottom of this climb at least, after they get down the other side. But this is really going to split things up here. These are some steep categorized climbs today, and there's Mark Soler getting the zoom. Okay. Well, 29th is good for 4th best on the team, so I'm kind of fitting into the middle. All right, I'm 10th in the young rider standings, so that's a positive. I didn't know I would have been that so high up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. The route is fairly hilly, so there should be plenty of action. It's a beautiful day today. That should be to the liking of most riders.
All right, roll of teammate. They want me to work for 30K today. Okay, save my strength for the moment. I'm going to start speeding things up for now. And us being 9th and 10th, I don't know why we'd be working at the front very much. We'd be mostly relying on the other teams, on the contenders, to burn their riders up and not us. So that's... So I actually did get 2 or 3K there as the front rider, but I don't think they're going to count that towards my progress. Pace is definitely low. Only 3 riders in the breakaway today and only 3.5 minutes ahead. So we are definitely keeping them in check, which is strange because with only 3 riders, and as steep as these climbs are, unless they are fantastic riders, there's no reason that... we can't catch them from 10 minutes behind pretty easily. They are allowed to stretch that lead out now. They're up over 6 minutes, and we go up and over the first and longest of the climbs, but definitely not the steepest, as all 4 of the climbs to come are much steeper than that first climb that we went over. Boy, even at 70, I was already starting to lose the pace just a little bit. So it's going to be a pretty intense day with just a 2-stager. And I think really just because of the level, I think they're going for it a lot more. So it's going to be less about my racing ability and more about my ability to just stay alive in these races here for the short while until I can... improve my stamina a bit, because they definitely push it. It's going to be a war of attrition, I think, early for me in this season. Alright, so I'm still just kind of staying in the peloton. I get back up to the front here. We're on to the next climb, the first of 3 straight Category 2s. And here's that intense part. So here's that much steeper than what we've seen. It's not crazy steep. I've certainly done steeper, but as long as it is and steep as it is, kind of straight up, that takes a lot out of you. But that time through was not bad. Things have changed a little bit at the front now, as there are 4 riders at the front plus another one in no man's land between them. Probably they were going for the mountain climber points. Okay, now things have intensified a bit. I'm sliding backwards. But again, conserving energy, unlike last time where I burnt up a lot. Okay, this is a Category 2. It is pretty steep.
The pace seems much too high for many riders.
Okay, I seem to be holding my position just fine now. 1K to the top. Nope. They speed it up a little bit further.
Of the race. Anyone who is gunning for victory has got to make a move fairly soon. A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack. They obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
Okay, working my way back towards the front without burning too much energy. But now here's that intensity part where there is no relax down the other side. Boy, and I got a few riders that are going backwards here that keep slowing me down. Another reason to be towards the front. There we go. We seem to be at the top. We're gonna start working our way downhill here. And now I'm riding at 88. I did lose some energy, but it's recovering some with this downhill, so I should be in pretty good shape going into that last climb. Now they want me to, or not, group split for just a moment there. The pace is enough that the group is splitting in little pockets for just a second, and then coming back together. Now, I look to be the only guy who did not get water, so I don't know what happened with that, but I didn't get water and everybody else did. There we go. Alright, whoever was delivering water just made his way to the front where I was finally. It had been a long time where I was the only guy left without water. Here comes the final sprint point. And then we've got a little bit of an uncategorized climb there. That's not going to be a joke, especially with the pace we have now. Taking a look back at the breakaway, it's down to 2 riders, 2 minutes ahead. There's a chance that they could stay away.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
Okay, so pace is pretty intense, but luckily I was able to recover enough energy on that downhill where I'm pretty much at full strength for the final go. If I'm not forced to ride at the front, I could definitely stay with the group to the end. I think. We'll see. But I do what I'm ordered to do. So.
The lead over the pack is dwindling. The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
Acceleration by Alexis Goujard.
Alright, here we go. Only one climb left on the day, and it's a very steep but short Cat 2 coming up here shortly. Escape group's gone. So we're now down to the winner coming from the peloton. Ooh, there's the finish line, but we're going to be coming back to it. Here's the climb. All right. And even at 88, I'm slipping. But starting near the front is fantastic. I was actually holding the gap to the front 4 there. He hasn't gotten away, but okay.
Only a few riders are capable of following the very fast pace up front.
Alright, so I need to chase. Chase who? There's nobody to chase. There, I hit chase, and they told me to back off. Looks like we got 52 riders here. And everybody's just kind of slowing down, waiting for somebody to take charge. Maybe I should take charge. Get credit for leading a little bit. I'm not winning this thing, so might as well make the boss happy. 7K to go to the end. I'm not going to burn up all my energy here, but I'll leave for a little bit. It's the downhill coming up.
There are just 5 kilometers left.
There we go. Somebody else rolled through to the front. Okay. Alright, I'm ready to go for the end. We are inside 3K. There's my energy gel. 2K. Okay. We're going to start pushing towards the front. And here's the sprint. I'm going to get a top 10. I am going to grab a top 10.
He snatched victory in that massive
Dubai.
finish. He can thank his teammates who let him out in
Pierre
perfect
Roland
conditions.
is 5th. And Hanau is 7th. I've got 8th right there among Hanau and Gilbert. Bardet. There's my teammate 13th, 15th. Sweet. Top 10. There's my second top 10 amongst World Tour riders. And we did split the group up. Not everybody made it there to the end with the main group. So that should move me up a bit. I'll also have picked up, roughly 10K off of being at the front as well. So that'll make my boss slightly happy. He wanted 30K though. I was just never asked to do it. So Gilbert wins overall. Kent 2nd, Van Garderen 3rd, and now 4th. My teammate gets 6th and 8th. And I moved up to 25th on that, on the count back, as all 5 of the group that I was with before all stayed in the peloton at the end. So I at least cracked the top 25 overall. And that moved me up to 8th on the under 25s. And we actually ended up getting the top team overall. So that was pretty cool. So I got 7Ks at the front. Poor evaluation though, but best teammate at 6th. So at least that was seen as good. Manager satisfaction, slightly adding 3%, and I picked up just 10 points on this one. All right, well, that's what life's going to be like for a little while here, as I'm going to be having to play the role of a teammate from time to time, because, well, I'm down here a ways. I'm lower middle end of the team. If I level up 1 or 2 times, if I hit a 73, then I'll get up into that upper group. But Martin is our top guy. Definitely, but as you can see, I'm the only other stage racer on the team, and if he is taking on the World Tour stages, those pro continental ones will go to me a lot. But I've got to be, I think, a 73 or so for that to start happening. Plus, I've got to have the race objectives. To have a manager who has some faith in me. So if I put those 2 things together, a 73, manager satisfaction, I should be given free reign quite a few times, especially if there's a time trial involved. They will look to me for a high finish. All right, last thing I'm going to look at before I end the episode here is, let's see what is next. That's the one we just finished up. So we have a one-day classic. I'm definitely going to be doing that one off camera, as I will that one as well. And that one. And that one. So it's going to be a little while before I see you again. We're going to be moving into April. And here we go. A 5-stage race with a time trial and a couple of hilly races. That's where I'll see you next. So, that does it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe. And tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.